Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Casey, for attending. Of course, you're the star of the show today with your demo, and Jesse for setting all this up. So today we're going to talk about going from data to dashboard, turning Excel into action, which is what most of us do most of the time. Is we are working in Excel and we're like, how can we get this into something where I can make sense of it better? Well, that's what you're going to see today. So of course, your hosts were joined by Casey McGuigan, the product owner for Slingshot. There's her email, cmcguigan@infragistics.com. And my name is Jason Barris. I'm the Senior VP here at Infragistics, and I am Jason B at infragistics.com. If you have any questions or want to follow up on anything, please do not hesitate to email us. Today's agenda is really simple. I have 2 slides, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time on demo, because that's what really shows off Slingshot and how you can really use Excel to drive data-driven culture, to drive decision-making in your department, in your company, whatever it might be. Some housekeeping: we are going to send an email later today or tomorrow morning with a recording of today's session, as well as the slide deck. So you will get everything in your email. So why do we need data visualizations? Believe it or not, Excel has over 750 million users worldwide. Everyone uses Excel. It is the traditional choice for presenting and analyzing data. Infragistics has been in the developer tools business for over 30 years. And grids, data grids, are what we sell most of. That drives all of our product sales. And every customer, well, I'm going to say not every, because you can't say every, but let's say 99% of customers, since I've been at the company for the last 20 years, have said, we need this grid to be more like Excel. Our users want Excel. So everyone wants Excel. All your data's in Excel. People just say, hey, our database is Excel. It really is that choice that everyone uses for presenting and analyzing data. And we have a little quiz here. What is the most used feature in any line of business application and business intelligence solution? I think everyone's going to guess the answer correctly. Export to Excel. This is the #1 feature that everyone asks for. How can I get this chart into Excel? How can I get this grid into Excel? How can I take all this data, get it into Excel so my traders, my financial traders, can do more data manipulation with it? You know, how can we add macros and do all this stuff? It's incredible how this really does drive what people do with the product. And in fact, you know, at Infragistics, we've got data grids, data charts, all these things. We've got our embedded SDK with Reveal. We've got Slingshot. The Excel piece is always the second most popular feature. So people might think, oh, charts are the second most popular, or, you know, a date picker. It's all about Excel, because that's really where people want to do their work. So what we want to do is say, hey, do whatever you want in Excel, but bring it into a tool that then you can use to share visualizations, do data analytics, and do so much more than you actually can inside of Excel. And that's where Slingshot comes into play. So what can you do with Excel? You can pin files from OneDrive, from Google Sheets. You can create tasks, start discussions. You can, in one click, create a dashboard from an Excel file. You're going to see all of this today. And then you can have these collaborative conversations. The thing is, in any application, once it leaves the application and jumps over to Excel, it's kind of the end of the story for anyone but that individual user. What you want to do is use the power of Excel with the power of data analytics, and then keep all of that in the context of your workflow. So having those discussions, creating those chats, being able to talk about that data or those data visualizations with your coworkers and the folks on your team. So with that, let's see it in action. I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to let Casey go ahead and share her screen, and she will walk us through how all of this can be achieved with Slingshot.
All right. I don't have just the screen option.
Maybe Jesse needs to do something.
I found it. Never mind. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep, looks great.
All right, perfect. So to give a quick high-level elevator pitch of Slingshot for anybody new that didn't attend our previous webinars, Slingshot is your all-in-one digital workplace that you need in order to get work done. You can bring in your project management, your collaborative discussions, a full BI engine, and all of your files and content management all into one place. So really saving you time from needing to switch to multiple applications to get certain aspects of your work done. I am going to focus on this demo on a lot of the analytics and Excel, but definitely after this, go check out some of our YouTube videos for even more into project management and collaborative discussions as well. So coming in to Slingshot, I have this example here of a marketing team that has these different projects within it. So within marketing, we have our PPC management, SEO, social, and a website rebrand. Inside of my marketing team, I have an overview where I can see my team members. I get a little bit of resource allocation over here, any conversations that I've missed, and I'm able to pin very high level content that I need my team to keep top of mind. Some examples of content, you have like your team handbook, which is pinned directly from any of your cloud providers. So whether you're using Dropbox, SharePoint, OneDrive, Google Drive, whatever, you can pin directly into Slingshot, making sure that all your files are always shared and up to date. You're not worrying about looking through your email for local files or anything like that, as well as dashboards can be pinned here. You have a projects tab that will kind of, for managers, show a high level of all the projects that you have going on, the status, how many tasks maybe are overdue, blocked, and an indicator for how many are completed. Task management within here, which I won't dive into too much detail, but the ability to have tasks and subtasks, assignees, due dates. We have a few different views as well in here for your list view, Kanban view, and timeline. And we've also have a calendar view coming as well. Discussions, which I'll actually show you in action a little bit more in the demo, but really being able to have threaded conversations with your teams and projects in context of those. So within SEO, having conversations all around SEO metrics, what you're building for your content calendar. So when you need to go have conversations with your team, find a previous conversation, it's very easy to do so. And then pins. So here we have an example of how I've brought together content from Google, content from OneDrive, URL pins, and you see as well Excel files over here on the right-hand side where I'm able to organize all of my content very easily within Slingshot. So I don't have to worry about going to Google Drive for something and then 15 folders deep in SharePoint to find something. I can very easily come here and find the information I need when I need it. So focusing on Excel here, if you read a little bit of the abstract on the website, I'm going to show you right from here how to go from an Excel file with your data into a dashboard in one click. So from the overflow menu here on your Excel file, you have these different options. So you have create dashboard, start a chat, create a task, and start a discussion. So I'm going to go into create a dashboard. Right from that Excel file, I'm now in our dashboard creator. I have two different sheets in here to pick from. In my Excel file, I'm going to just go with the first one for this. So I'll select my data. And now I'm in the visualization editor to start creating my dashboard. So I want to create a line chart looking at my month and my organic traffic. And once I have the fields needed for the visualization, you see it come over here on the right-hand side. I can format my data a little bit here, change the title, organic traffic, and hit the check up here once I'm good with my dashboard. And just like that, one click from my Excel file, few drag and drops, and I have my first visualization here on my dashboard. From here, I'm going to add additional visualizations. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of a shortcut, and I'm going to go to this overflow and click duplicate. And then I'm going to go into edit. And now I want to see, let's see, a stacked column, and I want to see source. So I'll do organic traffic by source. And I'll hit the check. And then let's just do this one more time and add one more within here. I'm actually going to go into the other sheet, see what other data I have. I'll change my data source. And we also have some data in here around, let's actually do around some social media. So we'll do a donut chart for platform by referring traffic for social. So we'll change this to social. And now as I continue to add even more and more visualizations, you'll see that these charts are all the same size. You have free range to change the size of all of these, the order, however it is that you want to visualize your data, you can do so. So we'll just drag this here. And oops, having trouble with my mouse. Pull this up here. And we'll drag this one over. So created a dashboard pretty quickly here. Once I'm happy with my dashboard, I'll hit the check up here. I'm going to save this into the marketing space just for content dashboard. And I'll hit the check, or I'll hit save. Now, from here, I went from my data in Excel. Now I'm visualizing it within very insightful visualizations here. Now, the beauty that Jason was talking about of bringing your data into an environment where you can now collaborate and take action right from your insights is from this overflow menu here. I can go into starting a chat with somebody or a group of people, creating a task right off of this data, or starting a discussion. So I'm going to start a discussion. And within marketing, I have this insights list. And this is going to be around content traffic. And I'll hit next. So now I'm brought into the discussion tab where it has automatically attached a live link to the dashboard that I created. I can come here to the annotate icon, and I want to take a screenshot of this line chart here, and I want to annotate it so that when I message my team in here, I can add a little bit of context for them. Dip in traffic, I'll hit the check. And then I can continue to add other images if I want to, but I'm just going to go with this one for now. You can see that is now attached. And I know that Miriam is the head of our content. So I want to ask her what happened with the traffic. I forget what those months were, but let's just call it May. Now, everybody that's on this marketing team, I could have mentioned all of them, but everybody now has access to this conversation that is going on. But Miriam will get a notification. You can see that she is already replying. So she now has an image of this annotated screenshot, as well as she can click on this dashboard and go right into the live instance of that dashboard. And Miriam said, can you check with the team on this besides me? Miriam, all right. So yeah, from here, let's say I'm going to create a task off of Miriam's reply. And we want to look into content data. And it took a link as well now right to this discussion. I'm going to assign this over to Grady and Adele to look into, ask them to do it for next week, and then I will hit create. So again, from Excel into visualizing, into collaborating, into taking action right on my data, all happens now right here within Slingshot, within these productivity flows that we have. So in this task now that Adele and Grady got a notification for, they're able to come to this discussion, see any of the additional collaboration that happened around their data, around this insight, go into the dashboard and see it right there as well. In addition to being able to bring your Excel data into Slingshot, you also have the option to export out into Excel. So if you're connecting to your dashboards from a live data source, maybe like Google Analytics, Google Ads, Marketo, whatever it might be, you can actually also come up to here and export to Excel. And you can also choose to map this export directly to Excel visualizations. So when I click export to Excel, it'll export out a file that now I'm able to manipulate my data even more. And Jason, can you see Excel? I think I just shared my browser. Okay, hold on, I just want to show this. So let me stop the share real quick and do the whole desktop. And you can see again?
Yep, looks great.
All right, so this exported out right into Excel here. This is mapped directly now to the data that I was using. And now I'm able to do more analysis, whatever it is that I want. So if I wanted to maybe add in a combo chart and show a line of the percentage of Google traffic from here or something, I don't know, I can now do that right in Excel. Yeah, Jason, are there any questions I can?
Yep. So one of the things, or there's a few questions. The first one was, what were the settings on the chart that you made when you changed one of the values? You showed a settings dialog, but it was really fast.
So within any of the fields that you're using here, you can click on them and then you have different field settings for them all. So for a value, I can change the aggregation. So if I wanted to see average traffic instead of total, you can also change if I'm looking at sales numbers to currency, or if I'm looking at bounce rates to percentages. And then as well as settings on here, every chart type has its own settings too. So I can choose to show legends and titles. I can mess with the axis and the bounds, as well as the start color that I'm using on my charts and stuff.
And the other one was, well, there's a couple more. Is there other colors like a dark chart, like a dark background?
Yep. So if I just hit the up here first, just to show you, we have a few different built-in themes for our dashboards here that I can change them to. And then our entire Slingshot application also supports light mode and dark mode. I am in, oh, here we go, dark mode, which you can see here. How nice it looks in both light and dark. So we made sure to pick colors for our dashboards that work well, both in light and dark, because I can't control Jason using dark and me using light.
Right, right. Okay, and let's see. Looks like Joe has a question. He has lots of Excel files on his desktop. How can he make charts like this easier? Because it seems you just showed it coming from, how did the Excel file get into Slingshot, I guess?
Yes. So from, if you wanted them to be from a pin or from sharing in a chat, it all really does work the same. But from this add pin here, you're able to upload files as well as I showed attaching or adding them right from any of your cloud providers. What an upload will do, and you can also, I'm sorry, drag and drop from File Explorer into Slingshot as well. So local files will work as when you drag and drop them or upload them, we will take those files and we will upload them to your default cloud provider. So within your settings, whatever you really used to log in, or the first cloud provider that you used, you will have a default within here that, am I like missing it? Here we go. No. Did I miss it?
No, that's right. Under apps, you add
Okay.
OneDrive, right?
Yeah. So you'll have a default cloud provider that we will add a folder to that will be labeled Slingshot Uploads. And then you'll be able to use that file within Slingshot, but it is now shareable. So it won't be a local file anymore. It'll be shared, constantly up to date. As you continue to update it, your dashboard gets updated. So we really are trying to instill shared files so that we're not worried about version history and having the latest up-to-date file.
And then the last question for now was, does everyone have access to my dashboard?
So any dashboard that you add within a workspace or project, those members have access to that dashboard, but there's always the access to the data source that they need access to. So if I added a dashboard from Google Ads into this workspace, but Jason is not a member or doesn't have access to Google Ads, he won't be able to get at that data. So I need to go into Google Ads and physically add him into that application for access. So anything, you always have a fallback on the data source, whether or not people have access. And then you, in addition, have your My Analytics up here, where you can create your own personal dashboards that you can share with maybe one or two people, with a group of people, or just keep them for yourself up here.
Okay. And then Michael has a question. How must Excel be organized? Can any structure be imported without problems?
I would say it's probably best to have your data not in like 7 different tables on a sheet, but to use have your columns in there nicely for each different sheet or tab that you're using.
So sort of, yeah, what I would do, Michael, is I would look at Excel, even if like your company is using SQL Server or whatever, but you're linked to Excel, use Excel sheets to create like an ETL sort of thing where you're structuring your data and you're formatting your data and you're doing things like that really are saying, hey, this is the data, this data is ready to go. It doesn't mean you're saying, oh, only show these, you can, 2 columns, show 50 columns, but Excel is very powerful for making sure that data is organized well, and it's pretty easy to do. So yeah, that's how we do it anyway. That's my best practice suggestion for that, is to use Excel sort of like your data blending, data massaging tool, and get it in a good format. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show sheets in the picker, right? So we're going to say, hey, there's something called sales, there's something called orders, and from there you would pick that and kind of determine. Now, the one thing I haven't tested actually is multiple tables in a single sheet, which I'm assuming we would parse that as well. So that's something we can test out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was a lot of questions. Good. So that was that's the end of the questions. Hopefully we answered well for everyone there. So let me go ahead and yeah. Okay, I answered that one. There we go. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. And of course, we have one slide left. Let's share screen. And this is, can you see Get Started Today?
I can.
All right, so that's it. Get started today at slingshotapp.io. It's so easy. You go to our homepage, you click try, and you are logging into Slingshot. You can do everything that you just saw. And in fact, when you go to My Analytics, like Casey showed you, underneath data sources, we have sample data sources. Underneath dashboards, we have sample dashboards. You don't even need your own data. You can just start with everything that we have to start creating dashboards. And then at the same time, invite your coworkers, because then you can start assigning people tasks, sharing dashboards, and kind of see how that whole flow works. So with that, I want to thank everyone for joining today. Thank you, Casey, for your great demo. And we will follow up with you with an email around the recording and the slide deck, and we will see you at the next webinar on Slingshot. Thanks again, everyone.